welcome to day 7 of Break Off. We're in the corridor of dressing rooms down in the bowels here at the Crucible. There are no players in them. I certainly wouldn't be speaking this loudly if there were, but you can just taste the tension here, and you can imagine what it must be like to be a player in one of these rooms waiting for the knock on the door as a packed house at the Crucible and millions of people on TV are waiting to see you produce your best. So, before we talk about today's second round matches and the battle for the quarter-finals, there's one match to wrap up from the opening round. Sean Murphy resumed 7-2 up against Robin Hull. Well, he no longer looks quite as young as he did when he won the title as a qualifier in 2005, but he's in good form, the magician. He made short work of that match, winning 10-3, and there was even the hint of a 1-4-7 in the last frame. He didn't produce that, but he has booked his place in the second round where he'll face Joe Perry. Understandably, he was pretty relaxed and happy after the match. Is it nice or difficult to be the very last of the first round matches to finish?
It was a funny one because, I was there 9:45 Saturday morning with my brew, ready, listening to you, talking, whipping the crowd up. And then for 4 days I had to kind of sit on my hands, practice and watch everyone enjoying themselves. It was a weird one. I don't remember it happening to me before. But I guess in a funny kind of way, it kind of shortens the tournament for me. It takes a 17-day marathon and turns it into a 2-week manageable tournament. So there's pluses and minuses.
Will you be rocking and rolling between home, or is this you up now and for as long as your tournament lasts?
I don't think I and Joe play now till Sunday, so I'll be going home now for a couple of nights and just getting back to my normal routine, practicing, watching the snooker. This is a funny one for snooker players because it's our festival, and whether you're in it or not, you're watching it, and I'll have to drag myself away from home watching the snooker to go and practice my game, but we're used to it now, and we just get on with it.
Well, Sean Murphy will be appearing later on in Break Off, and I promise you it's a moment not to be missed. We're now above the corridor for the dressing rooms, and this is where we find the grandly named Champions Lounge. The commentators and presenters come in here to chill out, as do the friends and family of the players taking part. Now, we know that this great city is synonymous with snooker, and that's not just for the 3 weeks that the championship occupies top spot on the television schedules. There's fantastic work going on connected to the sport all across the county, as I found out last week. Well, we hear a lot about how good snooker is at breaking down boundaries and getting children into the sport. We've come to Sheffield Park Academy to see just how effective the sport can be. We've got a whole group of children here from a number of different schools across the county, all here for a major championship that will finish with prizes. There's a Steve Davis autobiography signed by the great man. There's watches, there's brand new snooker cues. There's an awful lot going on here, so let's go and see just how good snooker can be. Well, this is Chris, one of the key men responsible for this fantastic day here at Sheffield Park Academy. A heck of a lot going on here. You must be exhausted, but I tell you what, this looks fantastic. What an advert for the sport and what an opportunity for these children.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic today. It's a sort of the culmination of months and months of up to 3,500 kids playing snooker in 16 different Sheffield schools, and today's a sort of the icing on the cake, if you like. It's the finals day. All the 16 schools have selected 8 students. There's got to be a minimum of 2 girls involved, and actually there's probably most schools have brought more than 2, which is fantastic.
It is quite amazing. If you've not seen it unfold, it is just amazing. It works on so many different levels. Firstly, it brings snooker into schools and introduces snooker to kids that may not have known it existed, because it's a different world we live in from the 80s. Not every kid is watching with their parents on one television. Some kids don't even know the game exists. It's amazing to think that's the case. Hopefully this helps in that respect. Secondly, it brings back the time of the old-fashioned youth club. There's a social aspect to this. The kids are getting on well with each other. They're all from different schools, but they're interacting, they're socialising, and there's the etiquette of the game, shaking hands before the match. Thirdly, there's the maths of the game, and when we introduce functional snooker into it, ramp up the maths of the game, the functional side of it, all of a sudden we see that the teachers actually prefer sometimes to teach in that environment than in some classroom kids have a problem.
What's your name?
Mason Brown.
Mason, and which school are you representing today?
Sheffield Springs Academy.
Right, this is so cool to have a day off school to come and play snooker.
Yeah, it is.
Did you have any interest in snooker before it came to your school?
Yeah, I did have a little bit, but once it came to my school, that's all I've been doing non-stop, just playing snooker and pool.
And what is it you love about snooker?
don't know, it's just that it's a fun sport. Everyone can do it. Just that it's a real good sport that anyone can do.
We do it at school, but I think I want to try and do it a bit more because I like the idea of it and I think it's quite fun. So
Every now and again, you get a kid who's good at the game, who's hasn't got any self-esteem in other areas, and all of a sudden he's a hero for the day. He walks away with a prize. You can't believe what happens to a kid who you see him grow in stature. We've got word searches, all different types of games. Everybody sort of gets a value in the day, and you see people just they can't believe we give out prizes. They get iTunes vouchers. They get watches. They fill out a word search. They win a prize. Some of these kids come from backgrounds. Not this bunch. I don't. Everybody. Sometimes I've been to areas where kids are tough area. They can't believe we give them a cue. Sir, is this for me to keep? They can't believe somebody's given them a present. We need to make sure that participation of the youth of the game doesn't evaporate, and there is obviously the possibility, as a few snooker clubs close, that there is a danger that the next generation comes from Europe or Asia. It's not saying it's not self-interested as that much, but it works on that level as well.
We found it to be a tremendous leveller. Everybody's an equal at snooker. They become different, i.e. in ability, the more they play, and ability begins to shine. But actually in the early stages of what we're looking for, which is engagement and participation, everybody can play. Every able-bodied person, anybody with a disability, whether you're male, female, no matter what ethnicity, there's always a place for everybody in this sport.
Well, of course, you can't play snooker without some decent cues, and this guy knows a thing or two about that, John Parris. So, John, just explain what your involvement is here today and with this project.
I think it's a great initiative with World Snooker, bringing the functional snooker into schools and engaging with the kids. And it's just giving a bit back, really. We've chosen not probably the best player, but the child that's engaged the most with the whole scheme. And then we've taken one from each school, and we're going to give them a top-end cue, and hopefully if they carry on with snooker, it'll last them the rest of their life.
Well, it's just a great symbol of their hard work being rewarded, and it's, they look really nice, snooker cues, don't they? Lovely case. That's a big deal for a young lad, especially, or girl, especially if they come from an environment where there might not necessarily be the money for them to buy one of those.
That's right. I mean, obviously the Cues Own Into Schools project supplies all the kids with sort of starter cues, but if they're going to progress, I mean, these ones would probably be retailing around about the sort of $4.50 mark. So it's something that they can have and cherish.
Well, as a kid, I fell in love with snooker the first time I was introduced to it, and it's a great thing to think that by the end of the day there will be somebody, perhaps who wasn't that bothered, didn't really know what the game was about, all of a sudden goes, Dad, can I go down the snooker club? Can we go down the snooker club next? I want to go down. I want to have another game of that. I want to have another try. I couldn't work out why I couldn't get that ball in the pocket. I need some help. I need a coach. I'm going to buy a book on the game. And all those things that happens to every body that's at the Crucible, all the players at the Crucible all went through that. Somewhere down there will be a snooker fan for life. Marvellous.
Well, what an impressive day to witness. There is absolutely no doubt that Cues Own Into Schools is a huge success, and you can still see dozens of young people playing the sport behind me. And who knows, even if there isn't a star of the future there, that's our next generation of snooker fans. A fantastic day to be a part of. Long may these continue. To keep up to date with all the great work that Cues Own Into Schools is doing, log on to the WPBSA website. Now, all of these men have something in common. They've all lifted the illustrious trophy, but none of them have got their hands on the Betfred World Micro Snooker title. We've got two world-class players who we've put to the test on our tiny table, Stuart Bingham and Sean Murphy, and I'll give you a clue. One of them stays on the table a lot longer than the other. This is called the Micro World Championship. It's as many as you can pot in a minute. We couldn't find snooker balls, so we have to make do with pool balls. Doesn't matter if the black goes in early on, not a problem. But the key with this is, if you go in off with the white, the break's over. Stuart, the ball run Bingham, facing Graham Dott in the second round, is up to the task. Stuart, 3, 2, 1, you're live. Oh, that is a sensational break there. Reigning Shanghai Masters champion is absolutely on fire here. Remember, Mark Allen has done this in bang on a minute. Stuart, remember, if you go in off, the break's over. He says he's been practicing on his son's table. It's a little bit bigger than this. Oh, this is good going here. The pride of Essex is on fire. Oh, too hard. Yes, he's got the black. Oh, this is a great break here. 20 years of being a professional. This is what it's all about. Ooh. Oh, yes. Can he go into the lead here? This is a brilliant effort. It's all right, no foul for that one. This is so close. Oh, it's going to be a tie, I think, between him and Mark Allen. Very close to the time set by Mark Allen. What a good sport this guy is. The reigning Shanghai Masters champion has smashed it. Shaun Murphy, reigning Masters champion, holder of snooker's triple crown. 3, 2, 1, you're live. Oh no! Unbelievable! And the breaking news here at the Crucible, Shaun Murphy has actually replaced Mike Ganley at the bottom of the leaderboard. 6 seconds for the tournament director. I make that about 1.1. What a fantastic win today over Robin Hull. But Shaun Murphy, well, desperate.
The only other thing I've got in common with Mike Ganley is that my shoes are slightly nicer than his. That's it.
Unbelievable that the challenge has been laid down. Can you last any shorter than Shaun Murphy on the 1 minute challenge? Come and test yourself. Well, what a shocker for Shaun. Let's take a look at what all that's done to the leaderboard. Stuart Bingham slots into second place behind Mark Allen, 2 balls fewer at 13, and then Shaun Murphy right down the bottom. The only glimmer of hope for the magician is that at least he managed to pot a ball. So with the drive for the quarterfinals fully underway, it's about time we got up to date with all the latest odds. The only man with his finger on the money is Mark Pearson.
Well, that's right, Rob. In-play odds are always changing. Ding was out to 3 to 1, but he's come back. He's got himself in a great position now after winning 4 frames on the bounce. He's now 9-7 up, so Ding is now 2 to 7, the odds-on favourite to finally do it here against John Higgins. Of course, it's a race to 13. It's Saturday morning as well, and Ding has got his supporters to win it. Not as many as Ronnie. Ronnie, of course, very, very popular to win the Betfred World Snooker Championships. So Ronnie still the 2 to 1 favourite to win his 6th crown.
Well, fascinating to see how those odds have changed on Ding Junhui. From 5-1 down, he now leads the 4-time world champion John Higgins 9-7. That one concludes tomorrow morning. We've also got the second instalment of Barry Hawkins against Mark Allen. Allen leading 5-3. We've got the first part of Ali Carter against Neil Robertson going up against the 2010 world champion. And then tomorrow night, the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan against the Welsh Dragon Matthew Stevens. There is so much to look forward to on the middle Saturday here in Sheffield. But for now, bye-bye.